Okay, here we go. Hello everyone. So, I'm sitting here with, I was going to say a friend. My wife's friend, but now my friend.
She's a part of me, she's part of you. We're friends.
I'm sitting here with my wife's mutual friend, right? And she bought me something I've never had. And I'm so happy about it. Because, I don't know if you know this, but I only started drinking coffee in November.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'd never drank coffee before that.
I don't know how you survived.
Lots of energy drinks, which was really bad for me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying coffee's better, but I think it is better.
Or at least there's more water in it.
Oh, that's true. It's probably way less sugar too.
Yeah, so you can say, Doc, I had 4 cups of water today.
Yeah.
Just don't tell them what was in it.
I do drink an insane amount of water.
Well, that's good.
Usually I carry a litre bottle with me everywhere and I fill it 2 or 3 times a day.
I do that sometimes, but it's just to look good.
Oh, okay, it's just for show.
Yeah.
You're
Then when it's
look
warm,
at
I
me,
just
hydrated.
tip it out or put it on my plants.
It's full of vodka, isn't it?
Succulents love it.
So I'm sitting here with our friend Sammy, and so I asked you to be on the show because you post a lot of stuff.
I do.
But the other day, you posted something, and I was like, wow, I feel that one. Like I get it. And I was immediately like, hey.
Oh, that's what it was.
Which I hope didn't come off as like, hey.
No, not at
hey.
all. Not at all. It was funny because it kind of came in sync. Now I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That quote, yeah.
But it was really late, so the next day you're like, oh, hi.
Yeah. I actually saw your notification before I went to bed, and it was one of those moments where I'm like, I'm actually going to have a good sleep tonight. I'm not going to reply. I'll get back to him. Yeah,
I do that too. I've got one right now, which I haven't read, from my friend, because he's like, he sent me something to watch and I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to open it because then he'll be like, oh, so did you watch it? And I'll be like, oh, not yet, bro.
Yep.
So I'm like, not read. I'll leave you for a bit later. But you posted something and I can't even remember what it was, but it was like, I was like, wow, I get all the feels from this. And so I'm like, then I was like, now that I think about it, Sammy posts a lot of really cool stuff. And I'm like, I should get her on the podcast. And now here we are. A week later, and you're here, and we're recording. So, this is really cool. And this is we have kicked back into the podcast. It's been a real roller coaster. So, you don't know this yet, and people who are listening know this.
Mm-hmm.
But, we've recorded, 4 episodes. This will be the 4th episode.
Yeah.
So, you're, top of my list.
How good.
I know, right? You're the first person who's not part of the former inner circle.
Right, gotcha.
Do you know what I mean? So I've had mine and Cal's best friends on, and then I had Alex, who I do my other podcast with, and then you're the first person. So you're now in that inner circle.
I sort of could see
weirdos.
the regulars when I was listening to your stuff on times too.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to get through it all. Yeah. That was real important. Unless I really had to listen to it and had to play it back.
Yeah. Mm. And it's been really fun because, the podcast was what it was, and we didn't have many people on because, we had to always record around Cal's health schedule.
Yeah.
Which wasn't, I use this term schedule so utterly loosely because it was he would message me 15 minutes before he turned up. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm feeling healthy. I'll be at your house in 15 minutes. And I'll be like, right, okay, I'll get the gear out. And so it's not welcome because it's but it's nice to be able to be like, hey, would you like to record this on this day?
Yeah.
And people to be like, yes. And I'm like, cool, this is it. We're on a plan.
Yeah.
And we're also, for those who are listening, we're also recording with our dogs here because Sammy loves animals.
I did show up with one.
Yeah, and you're leaving with one. I say that. I act all like, brr, 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 brr.
Yeah, we both know I'm not.
As the second Jen looks at it and goes, but, and I'll be like, whatever. I'll cave so fast.
He's already eating the catnip. I made sure before I came. And if
you wanted to make a good first impression, bringing a cat on catnip will 100% do it because someone in this house is usually on drugs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who. But there's usually someone on drugs, so I can relate to this cat now. Oh, not me. I don't do drugs.
You can relate to the cat, though.
But, in
medication,
so many ways.
It's still a drug.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah, and I'm on a lot of those. Mm-hmm.
Do you think I took my meds today?
I think you did.
Can you smell them?
No.
So did I take them?
Oh, now you're confusing me. Now I'm questioning my own reality.
No, I did.
Okay, cool. So you should be pretty chill for this.
Yeah, I'm probably too chill.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can keep it pretty cash. So the other reason I wanted to ask Sammy to do the show is because you've experienced things. So everyone's mental health is different, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's is all over
absolutely.
the show, and I'm starting to realise as I do this, like even people are like, oh no, I don't have mental health problems, have something.
Everyone's got something.
Everyone's got something, and it could be like, I don't have mental health problems, but they're like, but I have real bad self-confidence issues. It's like, well, hello.
Yeah, it's a type of anxiety.
100%. So it's like everyone has something. It's just everyone's on a different path and shit like that. But like you're on a different path than me for what I know. But maybe we'll reveal more. Or we'll cross paths. And so I'm like, wow, cool. I can learn something from someone I like and can talk to and is like feels comfortable and all that sort of thing. So now you, so you've gone through some traumatic stuff.
Yeah.
And now, so you, what do you say? Like, I don't know how to introduce this, like, because it's new to me. Because I know how to introduce my issues.
No.
So,
I mean, first and foremost, I can now say I'm a survivor without feeling guilty about it.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I've been through the ringworks. So I actually just recently in October was diagnosed with complex PTSD.
Wow.
Which is the difference between complex and PTSD is one stems from starting in childhood.
Yeah.
Which is why I was falsely diagnosed with borderline personality disorder at first.
Oh.
Because so many of the symptoms overcross. But I had a really good psychiatrist, and she went through everything from like birth to now.
Wow.
And everything's really balanced out.
There must have been some journey.
It was. It was, yeah.
I take it they did that over multiple.
Yeah, well, I've had a
sessions.
really
Not just
good
like,
psychologist.
Tell me your whole life right now.
Yeah. So I've had a really good psychologist for 2 years now, and she basically gave the psychiatrist a lot of background before I had my 4-hour assessment.
Yeah.
Including misdiagnoses and medications I took. Like when I was diagnosed with BPD, which was removed, I was on a medication. It literally, I don't remember that 3 years of my life.
Wow.
It's just gone. Can't say I miss it.
Yeah.
But I missed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, from just having the right diagnosis makes a huge difference.
How long ago was that? Like that 3 years ago, how long ago was that?
That was 5 years ago that they removed the diagnosis and changed it to PTSD.
Yeah.
And then it was just October, just gone, where they updated it to complex PTSD.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you must have been like... So what was your reaction to that? Like, were you like, oh my God, thank God? Or were you pissed off? Or a bit of everything?
Honestly, I went straight to Dr. Google.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, symptoms of complex PTSD.
Yeah.
And I'm like reading down it, and I'm like, oh my God, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Like everything makes sense. Right down to stuff that I did in my childhood to now, symptoms, the way I feel sometimes.
Yeah.
Just everything made sense. And since I've had that diagnosis, I've been able to do more to help myself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
Like you've been able to find the right tools, sort of thing.
Yeah,
so like,
absolutely.
Oh, I always have this issue, but now I can work out.
Yeah, well, it's just the little things. So, I mean, a lot of, for me, with my complex PTSD, we'll just call it PTSD for, make it easier, but is avoidance. Avoidance is huge for me. So I find other ways of now making myself do things, and that might be things like, contact a friend or something and be like, hey, we're going to do da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then instead of working myself up, I'll just sit on it. I might even type out like a whole message, which I actually did to you.
Yeah.
And then not send it and just be like, no, I'm just going to throw myself in the deep end, because the more questions I ask, the more I'm going to work myself up and not go through with it.
Yeah.
So obviously that's what I did, and that's why I'm here now.
Yeah.
Plus the kitten, so.
Oh, yeah, and the kitten.
You know.
Has the kitten got a name?
No, I hadn't named him. I was calling him like Orange Collar and then Fluffy, and then Jen was talking about calling him Toby.
No, it's vetoed.
But yeah, no, not my kitten, not my problem.
Not to go with PTSD, just for a second. I've always believed, this is a weird thing, I'm such a weirdo about this, that dogs should have people names and cats should have extravagant names. Like, I don't know why I think that, but like
Spider Pig.
with the exception of Nugget, who we didn't name. No, Nugget was given a temporary name till she went to her permanent home.
Right.
And then she stayed.
That went well.
Don't get me started on that bill I had to face. So that, so she kept Nugget because it was too late. But like Max, Lucy, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've always been like, no, cats should have names like Mr. Paws or like
your budgies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we went through all of those.
Rangers Basketball.
Yeah, I still can't say that.
Oh, I love it. It's from one of my favourite shows ever. And then one's like Frank.
Yeah.
Because it's from our other favourite show. So I'm like, alright, okay. Yeah, I haven't got naming conventions for birds.
You might just have to sit down and watch an episode of, I don't know, Simpsons with them and work it out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
What's the cat's name on there? I can't remember.
Snowball.
Hey!
Snowball 2, actually. Snowball 1 died.
Oh.
Okay, back to you. So, what about have you also found, since you've got properly diagnosed, has that had a positive impact on the people around you?
No, I think it has. I mean, I'm out now. Last year I wouldn't have been here. We've been, long distance neighbours. I say long distance neighbours, an hour apart, for almost 4 years now.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen you twice.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So I'm sort of coming out of my shell a lot. I'm dating a guy. He gets me out on the weekends, and he knows the drill. I'm like, just don't tell me, just be like, this is where we're going.
Yeah.
Get in the car, pick the kids up.
Yeah, that's
off
lovely.
we go. And he knows when I've had enough.
Cool.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
But that's why communication is so important. So communicating that with him once I knew.
Yeah.
Obviously my kids are too young to understand, but I was better able to understand myself, to understand them.
Yeah.
Especially my son. He's got a bit of trauma of his own just from things he witnessed that caused part of my PTSD.
Yeah.
And so I can understand his anxieties and stuff a lot better, because now looking at him, I'm like, hey, that was me as a kid. And so I can help him better now than I would have been able to if I didn't know I had complex PTSD.
Yeah.
Which has been awesome. He's now doing so much better at school.
Yeah.
And at home.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's helped in a lot of ways. Yeah, no, it definitely has.
And what about so some people like doing this, you get to talk to a lot of people about their mental health, right?
Yeah.
And the victory that I'm hearing is the right diagnosis. Right. And I found that too. Do you know what I mean? As soon as my doctor's got it right, and it's and anyone who listens to this podcast long term knows that I had to go through even last year, a slew of medication to get correct. And then you get the right one, and it just feels good.
Can we just go back to that slew of medication? That's a whole thing in its own.
Yeah, go for it.
Absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
In 1 year I went through about 7 different medications.
Yeah.
And I feel like that just makes things completely worse. So once you find that medication that works, it just makes the world of difference.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's and people who haven't been on not just these types of meds, but a lot of meds, they don't realise the trauma you go through changing.
Oh, absolutely.
It is a 20 to 30 day nightmare.
Yeah.
Of not just emotion, but physical ailment.
Oh, yeah.
And anything from I feel lightheaded all the time to I'm vomiting constantly.
Yep.
Depending on the medications, but
most of these ones that they give us, that they are like that. Sometimes you can't get out of bed.
Yeah.
Especially for the first few days, and
yeah,
some increase your anxiety, so they give you another one to help with that, and then You know,
Yeah.
they try and balance other meds out with other meds, and
Yeah.
it becomes a nightmare.
It is a real nightmare. And then suddenly, so now I don't want to, like, I'm no good with names or anything, like,
Yeah.
like I take one pill now.
Yeah.
For my mental health.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like an encompassing everything pill.
Yeah, yeah.
So it works on my anxiety, it works with my depression, it works with blah blah blah, like everything, right?
Brilliant. Yeah.
Are you, like, how much? What do you, like, not what, but like, do you have to take one, or is it like I take this and this and that?
So I just, I actually refused to go on the advised medication because I had taken it in the past for the wrongly diagnosed. So I sort of already knew it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So I take sertraline now, which is actually
Okay,
a
yeah,
pretty
cool.
basic
Yep.
antidepressant.
For sure.
Because I would rather be awake to what's going on so
Yeah.
that I can work with it through therapy and,
Yeah.
you know, making changes than just be so reliant on the medication that I'm just sort of pretending it's not there,
Yeah.
or that it's, you know, blocking those signals in my brain. Like, I
Yeah.
know when I'm having a hypervigilant day, when I'm jumpy,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I know when I'm having a good day. And because I can resonate with it and I can feel it you know, completely, I'm able to give myself more of those good days.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That makes sense.
No, yeah, it makes total sense.
But then I have my Valium, diazepam. I like to call it Valium because of Eminem, and I love Eminem.
Yeah.
But diazepam in New Zealand, and
Yeah.
I take that on like days such today, where I do something completely different.
Yeah.
It's a bit anxiety provoking.
Yeah. It might be more stressful. You need something to.
Just mellow, yeah.
Yeah. What did Jacindy say? The curve, mellow the curve, something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Roll with it.
Yeah. And do you find, because, like, and I just asked this because for me, the different medications also had, like, physical side effects that were freaking, like, that's
Yeah.
the other thing they tell you, but they don't really go into a lot of detail. They're like,
No,
we
no,
think
no.
this one will work. There's a few side effects.
Yeah, but
And
they're
then-
not very common.
But they're not very common. And then you're like, I've got all of these
Yeah,
side effects.
yeah.
Awesome. I'm so happy.
Can't sleep, can't wake up. Yeah,
Oh, God, yeah.
feel dizzy, want to be sick, headache.
Yeah, this one will make you, you might experience weight loss.
You might feel more depressed, but it's antidepressants.
Oh, 100%. 100%
Yeah.
had that. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Are the voices loud on this one? I'm sorry, can you speak louder? I can't hear you over my own
Yeah.
head.
Next.
Yeah. And that's the other thing with changing medications is, like, so those physical side effects can go roller coaster high.
Yeah, well, you're still coming off one, and then you're
Yeah.
going on to another. So
sometimes
that's a
you
longer
get-
balance out period.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I don't want to be graphic about this, but, like, at one stage I'm changing over between two meds, and the first one causes constipation, the other one causes diarrhea. And I'm like,
Shit.
I'm like, I'm doing weird poop at the moment where it's like, it won't come out, but when it does, my God. It
Yeah.
shotguns out.
Yeah.
So it is a nightmare. And to get misdiagnosed and to be on, like, here, this will do it, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
It just must have been, like, a mental and physical.
Oh, it was torment. I mean,
Yeah.
apart from looking at photos and videos, like, I can see I was there.
Yeah.
But, you know, I literally do not remember the first year of my son's life.
Wow.
Like, I was put on lithium for almost
Yeah.
a year. And
Oh,
that's for
wow.
bipolar generally.
Yeah.
And it was just way off, and I don't remember a thing.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
And do you find, like, when you look at those photos and you see yourself, obviously you don't remember it, but when you look at your own self, do you be like, wow, I can see I'm not there?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I can see in
absolutely.
my eyes,
Like, I'm physically there,
blank.
but I'm not there. I'm
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's a really bitter pill to swallow. That
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Ugh. And you mentioned, like, the therapy you've gone through.
Mm-hmm.
So how long have you been doing that?
So I've been in therapy for about 2.5 years now. Obviously,
Yeah.
can't name a therapist here in
No.
Palmy. I think the real work started when we started doing EMDR. For people that don't know what that is, it can be a tap therapy. It can be
Yeah.
an eye signal.
Yeah.
My psychologist likes to use these vibrating things that you hold, and they go at like
Nice.
different speeds.
Yeah.
So that's more my alley. So I'm not being touched or having to look at someone.
Yeah.
And sort of what it does is you focus on one issue that's really pressing for you,
Yeah.
and then every 10 seconds she sort of checks in, and
Yeah.
when she's checking in, it's like she's pulling things from under this massive rug
Wow.
that, like, sometimes you don't even be like, shit, like da 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 when I was 8, and you're like, but I haven't thought about that since I was 8.
Yeah.
And you didn't even realise that was like in the back of your head.
Yeah.
Clouding you every single day.
Wow.
And then that becomes another thing that you've got to work on.
Yeah.
So my list actually just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
But even though it's getting bigger, it's getting less heavy. You know?
Oh, I see. So it's almost like you got 2 buckets. And it's
yeah.
like you're carrying one.
Yeah.
And you're just going, I'm going to put that in the one I don't have to carry
yeah,
anymore.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make the issue go away.
No.
No. But it's just not on your shoulders. It's
and
over there.
It helps things make sense too, especially with the diagnosis of complex PTSD.
Yeah.
You go, oh shit, that wasn't good either.
Yeah.
And then as a mother now, at 28, you look at it and you're like, you know, if my son had come to me and said that,
yeah,
like I'd be horrified.
Yeah.
But I look at it, you know, or had been looking at it like, oh, wasn't that bad?
Yeah.
You know, it was just.
It's just childhood.
It was just my childhood.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it was just
because you didn't
my
know
life.
different. Yeah.
No, that's all I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's quite it's different. It's almost like you feel like you're being hypnotized, but like in a professional manner.
Yeah. So is this what you're still doing?
I'm still doing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like, again, you don't have to answer anything, but like that first session where you did that, like how harrowing was it? Like, was it?
Honestly, the first few sessions, she didn't get shit out of me, and that is because I was not open to actually being in the process.
Yeah.
Like I told her I was, but I wasn't. It's funny that she mentioned that, because on the third one I said, I need to tell you something, and she said, well, what's that? And I said, well, you're the first psychologist out of 5 that I've been honest with about fucking everything.
Wow.
And I said, the last one that did this for 2 years, I literally just told her what I wanted to hear, like what she wanted to hear. And she's like, how'd you get away with that? And I was like, I just mixed up the numbers and was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 2 now.
Yeah.
It hurts that bad, and you know, and then she'd tick it off the list and we'd go to the next. I said, but I actually made no progress with her. I didn't connect with her. I said, I'm connecting with you, but I needed different space to do this in. Yeah. And from there it just sort of started to unfold. But it was actually having that moment with her of just pure honesty and rawness that helped me get to that space where I could do it successfully. Because, you know, 1 minute, you pure example is animals. So, you know, I've had issues with animals as long as I can remember. But I've never seen it as an issue. Until my last session last week, and then conveniently this week I was like, hey, you're my session, because she's away. And she said that my entire life, after I mentioned what I said to her, I have tried to give animals what I never got from people.
Gotcha.
Because I know, well, I feel like an animal can never do wrong by me, and I can control that situation every time. I don't feel like that with people. So that is why I'm like, I need those chickens, I need those kittens, I need that dog. Because I want to help. And I don't feel like I can always help people, because people like me have to want to be helped. And it took getting to there with my psychologist to want to be helped, to make the progress. Whereas animals are just like food. Yes. Pets, yes please. People, not so much, especially when there's stigma.
Oh, for sure.
Which is shocking in New Zealand.
It's funny you say that, because like Max, who's right there at your feet,
he enjoyed his holiday.
God, did he? You know, he was, I wouldn't say a rescue dog, like we bought him off the previous owners, but it wasn't until we got him we realised, oh, he's a rescue dog. We've rescued him. And it was the same thing. Like, I don't want to compare you to a dog, I'm not. No. But like, I mean, I don't consider him a dog. Like, he's family. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you're the same. Like, he's not a dog. He's my little mate.
Part of family.
And it was the same thing. And it was like we just surrounded him by constant love. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like that's what he needed. And it's so funny, because just hearing what you said, it's like, I think that's a thing for a lot of people. Like in different mental health states, it's like, we can give them the love we feel we want. And I think that's so powerful. Like, it's absolutely amazing. And it's like I can see why they use animals as pet therapy. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, it is so good.
It's a thing.
But going back to, like, you know, this is your 5th person that you've spoken to. You know, this is a hard question, but like, do you think you took the fifth person because of who that person was, or do you think it took to the fifth person because of you were ready to do it?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I mean, Melissa has her own trauma.
Okay. Yeah.
Whoops, named her.
That's right.
It's alright. Didn't use the last name.
Yeah.
You know, so she's not just a psychologist. I also felt like I was actually speaking to somebody that could understand as well as help.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think that makes the world of difference. Whereas all my other psychologists, there was no, you know, there's a difference between having a professional relationship, but like a professional relationship where there's still also a bit of personal touch, if that sounds so bad.
I think it's like they've made that connection to you.
Yeah, you make a connection. All the others, it was just by the book.
Yeah.
It was, you know, I'm on sensitive claims ACC. It was like, this is the form we've got. This is what I've been told we've got to work on.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
With Melissa, she sat me down for the first couple of sessions before we even got into EMDR, and she's like, I want to know everything.
Yeah.
You know, I can't help you unless we deal with everything, because just dealing with this one problem is not going to fix your life. That's like saying, if we go clean the bathroom, the whole house is clean. Doesn't work like that. You know? So I think that made a huge difference, and I'd gone through losing my children. I lost my children for 2 years because I chose to let an abusive partner back into my life.
Yeah.
I was stuck in that sort of mindset, and it took losing them and meeting Melissa to really go, I need to sort my shit out. I need to work out what's going on with me. I need to fix me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening and they can hear creaks and groans, it's windy and the garage is making noise. I'm just going to put that out there. And like, how often do you see her?
Once a week, every Wednesday, 12:30.
Okay, cool. And do you find like you get to like Tuesday night and you're like, oh my god, I feel tension, I can't wait to get this out? Or
the opposite, the actual opposite.
Wow.
I swear, I say to her multiple times, every Thursday, I'm like, what the fuck, why does everything happen right after my session? Because I have my session on the Wednesday, get everything out, and then Thursday rocks on up, and I'm like, Thursdays are just not my day, and I'm like, man, I could really use Melissa right now.
Yeah.
And then I've got to sit on it for like 6 days.
So you look forward to that Wednesday again?
Well, yeah, just sort of blow it all out, but then it's good in a sense because it gives me time to process, really understand my feelings, whether they be physical or mental.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing. I mean, I don't know what it's like for you, but for me with complex PTSD, it's not just a mental thing. I get physical symptoms too. You know?
Yeah, totally.
And for someone with anxiety, that might be like, you know, a heavy chest and hyperventilation, which is
headaches.
yeah, exactly. You know, sometimes for me that's a sore stomach. It's so much more than just it's in your head, and I quoted that right now with my fingers. No one can see me, but I hate that saying. I hate it so much because it's not.
It's right. You're right, and that's also what I was talking about with the medication stuff. Like, it is a whole. It's almost like I don't want to compare it, but like it's almost like there's a whole physical thing that people don't. I don't think people realise that, eh? Like,
no.
I find that like if my mental health is really bad, you're tired, you're lethargic.
It's like you got the flu.
Yeah,
you don't want to get out of bed.
That's
you feel like
Thank
absolute
you. Yes.
shit. Yeah,
perfect. You're sore. Like
it's a brain flu.
Where, my joints start to ache.
Yeah.
Mind you, that's mostly because I'm in bed, and I'm like, I haven't
Is it
moved.
though? Is it?
Yeah, and I'm old. I'm really old. Do you know I'm getting like old man injuries?
Oh,
I hate it. I've just turned 40. Like, I've got a wrist support on because I've hurt my wrist. I don't know how. It wasn't like I fell. I just woke up and I was like, I can't move my wrist.
Slept on it wrong.
Yeah. I got all this fucking shit going on. Anyway, whatever. And the, like, I think I'm asking about psychology a lot because I have always been like, I should do that, and I've never had the balls. Right? And I admit that to a lot of people. I'm like, I really should.
There's one thing, I mean, I've been with counsellors, psychiatrists and psychologists, and it's one thing to sit down with a counsellor and be able to talk And then, you know, be like, yeah, this is a breathing exercise. And,
Yeah.
and just write your feelings down in a journal. But to actually let a psychologist really get into your head,
Yeah.
there's a difference between that. And that, no offence, like, counsellors have their place in the world.
Oh, totally, yeah. Sure.
There's a difference between that, you know, couple of years of study and 10.
Yeah.
It is a huge difference.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And it's I don't really know how you'd word it. I suppose it's sort of like the difference between going to your GP for surgery and going to a surgeon.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Yeah. It's
a perfect thing. Sorry. That coffee's really good. It's all kicking in.
I'm glad.
Oh, I never actually said, Sammy bought me a coffee I've never had. Did I say that earlier? I just said Sammy bought me something I've never had. Yeah. And it's like, well, what is it? A donut?
Next time.
So, like, now you are with a new partner. Or newish partner.
Yes, I'm dating someone new.
Someone new. And he sounds like I met him once. I
call him my walking green flag.
Oh, nice.
Because he's so green that I'm constantly looking for the red. Wow. And that is a part of PTSD as well. Yeah, because I've been in that trauma cycle for so long. Like, if you look at my relationships over the last 10 years, you can see my mental health.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And it's sort of like just got less worse and worse as it's gone on. And now I've got this walking green flag in my house every weekend, and I'm like, when's it coming?
Yeah.
Like, when are you going to blow? When you be like, I'm sick of your shit, like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's become a joke with a few of my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's obviously going swimmingly.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe it's not.
Yeah, well, that's what Melissa says. Yeah.
Yeah.
She said, actually, maybe you just need to understand that there's decent people in the world, and you're just. But that's the thing with PTSD. You're constantly on guard, just waiting for it.
Yeah.
And that might come in the form of a new relationship.
Yeah.
Something's happened with your kids.
Yeah.
A family breakdown.
Yeah.
You're always looking for the next thing.
Yeah.
You're always prepared for battle.
Have you found? And again, don't have to answer any questions. All right. But, like, have you found since you've gone on this good, positive journey, do you know what I mean? Because I think it sounds to me like everything before diagnoses and Melissa was a journey, but it wasn't a very good one. It was very rocky.
It was very, very rocky. Yeah. And I still have bad days, but it's
100%. It's a journey. You're not there yet, you know. And I think it's one of those journeys never ends.
No, well,
you just
got to the day you die.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, have you found that you've now reflected on, like, because obviously you've removed a lot of negative, harmful people.
Absolutely, yep.
But do you find now you're looking at the relationships you have outside of him, but just friends, you know, family, whatever, and you're like, oh, I've got some mending to do? Or are you like, you know what, that ship has sailed, let's just whatever?
I have tried to mend, and this was actually before the diagnosis, one relationship.
Yeah.
Basically, I just got shut out.
Yeah.
So that knocked my confidence on mending relationships quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And that was about 2 years ago. That was when I started to come right.
Yeah.
It was actually my psychologist's suggestion.
Oh, yeah.
But since that happened, I'm sort of like, you know what, I'll just... No apologies if they want to ask for an explanation.
Yeah.
I'll openly give it to them.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm just going to carry on as normal. You know, I might just go out and do something with someone, and if they bring up the topic, cool. I'm happy. I'm happy to talk about it. But I'm not going out there writing novels anymore, or specifically being like, I want to catch up for coffee because I need to tell you about this.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's, if it's meant to be, it'll be.
Yeah.
People come and go in our lives for different reasons.
That's true.
So, yeah, there's also been people that I've blocked, and I've gone, wow, actually, I didn't realise how toxic you were. Blocked everywhere. I don't even want to hear your explanation.
Yeah.
And you don't need mine.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's, a bit of both.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And it, like, I think that's a good thing, like, getting... Some relationships are just, like, it's bad, and if it happens, it happens. And some, you know, like, I know for me, there's some where it's like, I want this to be right. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't expect us to be, like, best friends.
Yeah.
But it's like, I want this to be right so that there's no anxiety, there's no hard feelings. And if we do run into each other, we're cool with stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But we don't have to hang out.
Yeah,
you know? And I'm with you. Like, I've always believed, they say, oh, you can't choose your family. I don't believe that at all. Like, I've never believed that. I've been like, you can't choose who's related to you.
Yeah,
but you can choose
family.
Your family.
Define family.
And I've always believed there's a difference between family and whānau.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Absolutely.
I can choose my whānau.
Yeah.
You know, and my family is my family, that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, totally agree.
Yeah. What about, like, do you find now that you're, you know, on a bit of a positive journey, you have good days and bad and stuff like that, but do you find now that your interests, like, because obviously, like, yeah, you're a mum, that's a full-time job.
That's whatever.
And yeah, I know, right? You've got your partner, you've got other shit going on, you've got a million animals.
And two.
Huh? Yeah.
1,000,002.
1,000,002. But, like, are the animals... have you found now that you're like, oh, I really want to start this hobby or passion, or there's this thing I've been putting off, I really want to learn or do, or blah? Or is it like, no, the animals are the thing, or my kids are my thing, or...
I mean, I was recently working for Woodville Animal Welfare, as you know.
Yeah.
But it just got too much, and I suppose it's sort of the opposite of what you're saying, actually.
Yeah.
Because I went, you know what, I hate being out every single day. I like what I'm doing for these animals, and I like the difference I'm making, but unfortunately, it's taking too much of a toll on my mental health, having to go out twice a day for drop-offs and pick-ups at the vet, and then working around the kids in between, and I'm getting home and my safe space isn't feeling like my safe calm space, because everything I usually would have had done, you know, in that time the kids are at school, I'm not getting done because I'm busy doing other stuff. So I had to draw the line between putting my mental health and sanity first and the animals, which the last one just ended up here, so I'm free from other people's. But now I have that space, now I can look to focus on other things. My Walking Green Flag just went out and spent like $1,000, I swear, on paints and canvases and some huge canvas holder. It has a name, I just can't think of it.
Easel.
That's the one. Could have eased into that. So, you know, he's like, now you can paint. And I'm like, yeah, but I just need to find my mojo. Like, I haven't done it for probably 10 years. So there's things I'm thinking about doing, but I'm still winding back into reality. If that makes sense.
What, I know you're not there yet, but like painting, what is that to you?
It's an outlet. It's an outlet. Before I used to have a problem with weed abuse, really bad, like every 2 hours.
Wow.
And before that it was painting. And then my first partner, my first proper relationship, introduced me to it and was like, this will help. And I just, I stopped doing everything. When I did go to do my art, he didn't like it, and it became a negative thing. And then at the end of a relationship, ironically, he actually set the whole lot on fire. So it became a negative, it became like I related it with negativity. So I just stopped, and that was anywhere from, you know, painting, drawing, to doing up a set of drawers. And so one thing I've learnt is we're not responsible for our trauma, but we are responsible for helping ourselves to heal and make progress. And so I've got that stuff waiting there, and that was a conversation that me and Ricky had when I was very drunk, to come to that realisation that it's sitting there waiting for me when I'm ready to make it, you know, better again, and not negative energies, you know, bring positivity back into it. I think you kind of get where I'm going with that.
I get what you're going. I would be really interested. Do you have photos of your old artwork?
Well, that's actually what sparked the conversation between us. It came up as a memory on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah, and it was 3 bleeding poppies. So
beautiful. Do you know what's weird is I have a real warped sense of art, and it actually sounds really nice to me. I bet that's stunning. So it'll be, I'm so interested to see when you're ready, like when you start doing it again, what your artwork comes out as versus what it was. I've
got one piece of art left, which was accidentally left at my parents'. I'll send you a photo later.
Cool.
And it's literally a girl that's sort of on her knees with her head bowed, down towards her knees, and she's got like roots growing out of underneath her.
Wow.
And like the tree sort of above her, and then it's got drippings of like purple and blue down it. And I did that when I was 14, and I think it really speaks volumes as to what I was feeling. And I think I look at that now and I go, like, I felt like I had no roots. I felt like I always had to be in the corner with my head down because I couldn't bloom. I couldn't bloom there. I couldn't bloom like that. That's what I see, but you know, art's subjective, so someone else might look at that and see something completely different. And I can't remember what I was thinking back then, but that's what I see when I look at it now.
I would love to see it.
I'll send you a photo.
I'm actually funny you say that, because I'm actually working on 2 art things. One is my show. Some people are like, it's not art. Get fucked.
It's art.
It's art. Yeah, it's an expression of myself.
There's so many different forms of art.
But I'm also working on a photography one, and
nice.
I have to talk to you about it afterwards, because I'd love for you to be a part of it. Like, I need lots of people to do it. Anyway, we'll talk about that off.
I have a camera.
Oh, no, I've got the camera.
Damn it.
That's the bit I need. I need people to be in front of the camera. But when I explain to you, I think you'll actually really dig it. Anyway, it involves you looking pretty, which won't be hard. Anyway, no, I won't get into that, because this is not what this is about. I'm like taking over.
Go on.
My turn. What about, like, you know, you mentioned your kids, like, you didn't have your kids for a little while. Now they're back in your life, and I know how big of a part of you.
They are my life. They're the reason that I'm here today.
Because I see it on, like, 90% of your posts about your kids. You know, with animals, or school staff, or whatever. And
there you go. You know, if you have kids, before you think about jumping, think of your kids, because you 100%. Are your kids' world. You're everything to your kids.
It's something I've definitely, in the last little bit, I think I've become more attentive because of that. To my kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas before, anyway, that was new medication helps with that. It's helped me a lot with that. But, like, have you noticed in the last, like, so how long, so you lost them for 2 years, but how long have you had them back now?
So I lost them for 2 years. Leaving Auckland, I literally thought I would jump. I did not want to leave Auckland. I left because my kids came this way with my parents. And as soon as I got here, I just had to absorb myself with them. So even though I was living in a separate house, I was with them every single day from like 7 o'clock till 6 o'clock at night before I had to go home. Sort dinner and things like that. So I just consumed myself with them, and I think that really helped them as well, because I mean, my daughter was only 6 months old, and my son was 3, really vulnerable times of their lives.
For sure.
And so I think the transition helped me and it helped them. It was a rocky road to getting them back full time. I won't get into details of my parents and why, but I got them back because I earned it. I deserved it. They needed me, I needed them, and
you have each other now.
We have each other now, and it was the hardest, most eye-opening time in my fucking life. But I wouldn't be who I am today if it didn't happen. As crazy as that may sound. So yeah, really hard, but you know, we got through it. We got through it.
And so now, I mean, like you said, your daughter was 6 months old, but I guess for your son that was, you know, obviously a really hard time. But did you guys have to, like, rebuild relationship, like mum and son relationship, or was it like it was just like straight in?
Well, I can't say they, because Ashton was only 6 months old, but he always wanted to come home. He always wanted to come home. You, so. And that'll be for same reasons that as a kid I never wanted to be at home. The system's broken, not just for mental health. Hello, puppy. I was talking to the dog. The system's broken, not just in mental health, but it's also broken when it comes to family help and, you know, SIFs, all of those sorts of things. So, yeah, I mean, we beat the system. In more than one way, and we rebuilt those relationships. I maintained contact every single day, so it made things a bit easier.
That's good.
But yeah,
that's really good. And now, obviously, the kids are in school. You know, do you? Oh, I think you've already said this. Like, you notice things in them, and you're like, Okay, onto it.
Yeah. So, like, I've actually just recently got my son his own psychologist.
Great.
Because I want him to deal with the trauma of me not being around.
Yeah.
He has no father in his life, which I can't say is a loss, but because he doesn't understand his father, it is a loss.
Yeah.
And I want him to deal with that.
Yeah.
He's just been diagnosed with ADHD, which is a whole thing of its own.
Oh, 100%.
And now he's on medication, and so he's able to focus better, which is just awesome. And so I'm getting him those supports, and I'm about to get some of the supports for my daughter, because we've got good genes with the father's side.
Yeah.
It's cool. Support all around, really. Yeah.
Have you thought about going down that field, into that field?
Well, actually, before I was, I went on to Sensitive Claims ACC. When I was 18, I was actually, I don't know if you remember, working as a mental health support worker.
I honestly, until you moved.
So I actually, that's how me and Jen met.
Oh, okay.
She came over for an interview. And that's when you guys ended up moving here.
Yeah.
So that's why that's part of why it didn't go through, because I actually So I worked in mental health as a support worker. I'm actually a qualified early childhood educator.
Oh wow!
I have my level 3 and 4. And now I've just full on sent it. And over the last 2 years, I've gone and done all of my trucking licenses, my wheels, my tracks, my rollers, and my forklift. Yeah. Because I'm just waiting to be off ACC and be ready to just jump into the truck driving industry. It's just me to a T. Love helping people, love helping animals, but I think work needs to be a place that's just for me to sort of just breathe and just be with myself.
Fully. And I've seen your love of trucks on your TikToks.
I'm a bit concerned about my shiny wheels out there. I don't have a truck, so I've got big blinged out wheels and deep dish on my car, and I'm
that'll
like,
be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
It'll be right.
Safe. Dogs will get them.
Yeah, these killers. they'll get to them and they'll be like, "Be my friend, friendo."
Do you want a spinner?
Yeah, I'll get Dad's one. Hold on. So we got a new. We're going to wrap up, but we've got a new feature on the show. Called the Quickfire Round.
Hit
now,
me.
You can talk, like, I say quickfire. Like, you can go into as much depth as you want on this. Alright. But I wrote 2 sets of questions, right? And you can choose set A or set B.
Ooh.
It's 5 questions plus all of them have the same question at the end.
I'm going to go for B because it's complete.
I feel that's the best one as well.
Brilliant.
Okay, here we go. What was the last song you totally jammed out to? So, like, full volume, full singing, dancing along.
Honestly, on the way here.
Yeah.
It was Eminem.
Cool.
I can't remember the title of the song, but
that's
my mum likes Valium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I had to get with the groove.
Yeah. Do you like... Okay, hold on. We're going to jump into that. What's better? Because me and Cals used to have this argument all the time.
Yeah.
Early Eminem or late Eminem?
Sing for the moment. First tattoo I ever got also represents Aerosmith. Old Eminem.
Okay. You like old Eminem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Eminem can kiss my ass.
Yeah. I guess it's that, like, New Eminem is more they say it's the Marshall Mathers.
Yeah.
Before it was the Slim Shady era. And now he's done that thing like...
I'm just not there yet.
Yeah.
I can't resignate yet.
I'm way too immature for new Eminem. Like, way too immature.
Yeah.
I'm still like, my bum is on your lips. My bum is on your lips. Like, that's still my favourite Eminem song. Okay, what was the last thing you ate?
A hash brown.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
Macca's?
Yeah.
Best hash browns in the world.
Yeah,
I don't care what anyone says.
I didn't want to just get, like, 3 coffees. I was like, I haven't eaten. I've taken pills. Better eat.
Yeah.
But, like, don't tell them I got food because then they might want some.
Don't tell them.
Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah, but I just told you.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I've got food.
Next time.
Yeah, deal. Next time we should meet there. I fucking love McDonald's breakfast. Like, more
Does that mean we have to go inside or can we just sit in my car?
Oh, we'll drive through.
Okay, cool.
I have to go in because I normally get it 90% of the time when I'm at work.
Right.
And if I take it back to work, I love my work. I love all the people there. But you do get the whole, McDonald's for breakfast. And you're like, go away. I mean this because I wasn't prepared, all right?
I'm eating this because if I was skinny, you couldn't handle me.
Yeah, 100%. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Totally right.
Definitely the beach.
I love the beach.
Yeah.
I hate being landlocked. Like, Palmy's landlocked.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, it's funny because my house is surrounded by mountains. I like to look at them.
Yeah. Oh, mountains are pretty, but...
Yeah, but no, beach. And I think it's the sounds. It's the feel of, you know, if you take your shoes off. And,
yeah.
You know, yeah.
It's really hard, too, because Jen hates sand.
Fair enough.
I can't get enough of the beach. Like, if I could live on a beach... Not on a beach, but you know what I mean.
You know why she hates sand? It's because she's a mum and she's the one that's cleaning it up.
Yeah.
I hated Kindy for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and they use that rock sand?
Yeah, it's like real clingy. It gets right through your washing machine.
Oh, yeah, and fucks it up. But, like, the beach is my soul.
It's a happy place.
Do you have a place where it's like... So like, there's this one beach in the whole world.
Yeah.
There's just one. And I call it, like, I go there to reset my soul.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, when I'm in that water, I'm like, right, I'm good again. And I have to go at least every 12 months or I go insane.
It's like a cleanse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a place like that?
In my car.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's my space.
That's good because you can get... Mine is 7 hours away. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's Himatangi. It's Whitianga.
Yeah, whoa.
It is a long way.
Yeah.
And it costs a lot to get there and back. So, yeah, it's good that yours is
But put
handy.
a price on happiness, you know?
Yeah. Other than that, it's in here. Like, in here is my next best happy place.
Yeah.
So, okay. Oh, okay, this one's good. I'll be interested in this one. What did you want to be when you were young?
When I was younger, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Really?
But I only wanted to be a lawyer because my mum wanted me to be a lawyer, and she convinced me I was good at arguing.
That's a real good reason too.
Yeah. So that's all I remember wanting to be was a lawyer, but it wasn't actually my want. It was just me wanting to make my mum happy, which comes back to again mental health in a roundabout way.
Totally. Yeah. What is your most used emoji?
Probably like the half-length laughing face.
Yeah, with little tears coming out.
Yeah, that one. Probably that one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Because I just laugh at everything, even if it's not funny.
Yeah.
It's like, coping mechanism.
I get it. Why do you think I'm a comedian?
Exactly.
It's great therapy. And the last one, what makes you the happiest?
What makes me the happiest? You know, it's funny because my psychologist asked me this question in a roundabout way. We were going through all the negatives, and she said, "But what makes you happy?" And I sat here just like this. I mean, it's got to be the family I choose.
Yeah,
I suppose.
Cool. That's a great answer.
We have our bad days, but
Yeah.
I still choose them every day.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be happy all the time.
No, but as long as we're all there and we're getting through it together.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Like, you're allowed to argue as family.
Yep.
You're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to bitch and moan.
It'd be boring if we were all thinking the same thing.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Well, those are the quick fire questions.
Well, it's quick.
Yeah.
Very good.
They were fire too. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming and doing this.
No, well, thank you for dragging me in here. And I got rid of a kitten.
Yeah.
Win-win.
We'll see. If I'd known there were kittens coming, I wouldn't have done this. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, thanks. It's been awesome. I don't expect you to you have quite a cool TikTok where you do quite cool TikToky things. Do you want to let people know what that is, or would you rather be like, no, that's just for me?
That's TikTok. That's Sammy's world. The best thing I love about TikTok is I can control it.
Yeah.
You know, I can put out exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And it's not like the same as being, out there doing it. Sort of like what you do, with your comedy. You never know what's coming, whereas I know exactly what's going up, what to expect.
Yeah.
And a lot of it relates to my mental health.
Yeah.
And just day-to-day life of animals and all that other shit.
It is quite cool. And now that I follow
Bit
you,
of humour there.
yeah,
Here and there.
TikTok is that thing when you start following someone, they just like, oh, well, I'm going to give you the whole back catalog. So every other whenever I go on TikTok, every other TikTok is like Sammy, Sammy, and I'm not complaining.
Well, I'm quite disappointed because I'm not seeing those likes.
Oh, I like some.
Yeah, like 3.
After a while, I'm like, oh, Sammy.
I've got like 100. No, that's cool.
So I'm going fast, but thank you. Anything else you want to add? Any other like little things or anything else you want to bring up? Or like we can talk, we can keep going.
I think just an ending note would be, and this sort of covers mental health on a broader spectrum.
Yeah.
And that is, 2 people can go through the exact same sort of thing, and it can affect them both in completely different ways. And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
To actually consider.
Yeah. I say we, like Cal's is still placed in there. We've always said like, like
hey,
we're on our own path.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like your path might be the same colour as that path, but it's like our own path.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter, like yours might be like 200 kilometres an hour and mine might be 30.
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
It's still our own journeys, and you know, we might have been in the same car accident or different accidents, but they affected us differently.
Exactly. And it's nice when 2 paths get to run parallel for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And you get to feel that like, oh, they're the same. We're on the same thing here.
Just someone that resonates.
Yeah, it is really, really nice. And that's what I've discovered with doing this is that, I mean, 99% of the people I've interviewed are my friends. But it's so nice to hear like, it's that thing where you go, oh, I'm normal.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not normal, what's
we've got our own group of normal.
Yeah. So, oh, you feel that way too. That's why it's nice. I always ask about the medication because it's like, did you find this? And they're like, oh yeah. It's nice to be like, oh, I'm not broken.
Yeah.
I'm just mending. You know,
you're not broken. You're just bent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks everyone for listening, and thank you, Sammy. And check her out on TikTok. And I don't know what the next episode is, but we'll work it out.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.